Everything that has a beginning has an end.
Yeah, that's great. I just wanted to know what you wanted from Starbucks. I'll let myself out. Hey everyone, welcome back to CyberDan. Today I want to take a look back at the original Matrix trilogy. It's about time I dive into the deep end and give my thoughts on certain aspects that I have noticed since watching Revolutions. So sit back, relax, jack in, and join me in my in-depth analysis of my favorite sci-fi simulation, The Matrix. Now it would be easy to look into the internal workings of the first film, while simultaneously ignoring everything that happened in the sequels that followed. The original film was a triumph in cinema, but there's not much else I can say that the rest of the internet community hasn't already explored. Instead, I want to make more sense of the plot and its progression over the series. Whoa. So what happened behind the curtain that led to everything we saw on screen? Well, we know the basic information given to us throughout the trilogy. The real world and humans existed a long time before the happenings of the story. At a point, mankind developed artificial intelligence, which eventually would lead to the fall of humanity, and the rise of the machines. The machines would harvest human energy to keep themselves running, and developed a simulated world where human minds would inhabit, and would keep them none the wiser, ultimately holding them in stasis and under the control of the machines. That's a brief summary of what we saw, particularly in the Animatrix, but there's an aspect I hear a lot of people overlook, and that is the history of what happened off screen. When we are given a deeper yet complex version of how the Matrix came to be from the architect in The Matrix Reloaded, there is a large group of people who discard what they consider to be ramblings of an old man. Bullshit. Over time, I've come to realize how far from the truth that really is. George Carlin in Scary Movie 3 summed up those opinions very well, and it gave me a laugh, even now that I understand the architect's message.
What about contingent affirmation? That's gotta mean something.
There are segments of his monologue that become redundant, and his choice of delivery can be difficult to follow. But after I look past his snobby attitude, the information given can answer things about the Matrix history that would explain how things would unfold in the following two movies.
The Matrix is older than you know. I prefer counting from the emergence of one integral anomaly to the emergence of the next, in which case this is the sixth version.
I'm still a little perplexed as to why the first 5 versions of the simulation ended in nearly the same way, and the actions of each version of the one resulting in failure. But that really added much needed tension to Revolutions. Getting a grasp on exactly what the architect was describing, and warnings he presented to Neo would create high stakes, as Neo had become uncertain of what was to come, and the humans became increasingly desperate to protect Zion, being forced to make incredible sacrifices along the way. As Neo's mission became more of a spiritual journey to protect mankind from annihilation, the humans of Zion would fight a much more literal and violent war to hold the fort in hopes that Neo would succeed before an onslaught of Sentinels would tear them to shreds. When Revolutions ends and the Matrix is reset, the newly manifested 7th version takes over and makes things very interesting leading into the events of Resurrections. I want to thank you all for watching this video and for your continued support. I'm considering making a series out of this format, and that will heavily depend on the feedback I receive from you all. Where we go from there is a choice I leave to you.